So, Pablo, what does this mean for you to win this Indianapolis Prize?
Well, I'm really so honored. I'm grateful to receive this award because this is something that all conservationists would like to get at some point. It is internationally recognized as the main conservation award in animal conservation. So I really feel that I'm so grateful to the Indianapolis Zoological Society and also to the jury for appreciating the work that I've done all my life, almost 35 years working on penguins.
How will this honor and the money that comes along with it help you in your ongoing conservation efforts?
So this is critical. This is very important because, first of all, it somehow validates the work that we are doing. I am here, I'm talking from southern Argentina in Patagonia. This is penguin land. So I work on conservation, and this is validated that the work that we do has somehow a global relevance. It also legitimizes the work that we do, and that opens a lot of political doors because sometimes we're not what we do or what we say in our countries. Argentina is a developing country, and we work in many countries that are also developing where there are penguins, but conservation is not a priority. There are other priorities like economy, social aspects, and conservation is not an issue. But when you receive a recognition like this one, that opens a lot of political doors, and they start paying attention to what you do, to what you say, and also facilitates a lot of the goals that we have in agenda, like creating protected areas or many other goals. So this is really, really important to speed up our conservation efforts.
Pablo, why did you choose penguins?
My grandmother used to live here in Patagonia 100 years ago, and she used to go with horses and wagons to visit penguins when they were still harvesting sea lions and elephant seals to produce fat. And when I was a small boy, she used to tell me those amazing stories of her visits to see the penguins. And that's how she connected me to nature, through the penguins. And I think that is also part of my work now, to tell the story of my grandmother to millions of kids and connect them to nature through penguins.
What are the threats facing penguins around the world?
So penguins are in a bad position because they face threats not only in the ocean but also on land. So they accumulate threats in both environments. In both environments, they are affected by climate change. In the ocean, specifically by fisheries, pollution by oil or plastics right now. And also when they come on land, they are affected by severe human disturbance and also the introduction of unfamiliar predators, because penguins evolved in areas that were predator-free, but human beings, accidentally or on purpose, we introduce new animals, and penguins do not know how to defend. So like in New Zealand, there are millions of possums that have been introduced, and they eat many birds, including penguin chicks.
Most Americans, when we see penguins, we see them at a zoo, like the Indianapolis Zoo. Tell me where you have seen penguins all around the world, because there are so many different kinds of penguins, aren't there?
Exactly. There are 18 different species of penguins. The sad part of the story is that half of those species of penguins are considered threatened because of all the threats that we mentioned before. But penguins only live in the southern hemisphere, in Antarctica, South Africa, Australia, New Zealand, and also in some countries in South America. But the good news is there are almost 300 places where you can visit penguins in the wild. Penguins are very important, not only because of their ecological relevance or because people have a natural emotional connection to them. Penguins, they generate a lot of incomes for the regional economies in the developing countries where they live. So conservation has a direct connection to the lives and the livelihoods of those people that depend on ecotourism.
So Pablo, you mentioned the emotional connection that many people have with penguins. How does that emotional connection to these amazing, cute little creatures help you in your conservation efforts?
So they are critical because thanks to this emotional connection, we can engage communities and get support from the communities to implement actions like creating protected areas. So far, we have been able, with our work, to protect 32 million acres of penguin habitat. And since you create interest in the public, you can also generate political interest to pass new laws to protect penguins. And then the face of the penguin is also very powerful because it allows you to talk about difficult topics in conservation, right? And also the things that penguin have is that people identify with them, you know. So when we protect penguin habitats, since penguins use up vast areas of the ocean and inland, we protect hundreds and thousands of other species that coexist with the penguins. So it's not only about penguins, it's about a lot of animals and plants that coexist with them. And also it's about the communities that depend on those species, as I mentioned before, through ecotourism.
So, Pablo, what can the average viewer who is watching our interview do to help protect penguins?
So it is important to realize that everybody has a role in conservation. You don't need to be a biologist. You can have any kind of profession or you can do any kind of things and you still have a responsibility, something to do for our planet, you know. It could be something small like avoiding single-use plastics. You know, we are almost 8 billion people on the planet. And if we make only one action to avoid only one piece of plastic today, it will be a huge difference by the end of the day. And it doesn't matter where you live if you don't have penguins nearby. You know, all the oceans connect all our planet. So if you avoid one piece of single-use plastic, there will be less plastics in the ocean. And then this is a problem for penguins right now. We are organizing huge campaigns with adolescents and community members to remove all the plastic from the penguin colonies and the beach. But it is also important to think about, you know, large-scale policy. We need a serious policy and implementation at the global level to deal with the climate crisis we're dealing with right now.
Pablo, I have one final question. My guess is in the many, many years that you have studied and researched penguins, your friends and colleagues may have given you a nickname. Can you tell me what a nickname may be in terms of your love of penguins?
So my nickname is Poppy, but I think it's not necessarily related to penguins. It's related to the fact that my name is so complicated to pronounce. My grandfather was Greek and came here to Argentina 100 years ago. So I think everybody goes by Poppy, so no mistakes.
All right, travel safe to Antarctica, okay?
When are you coming, Scott, to Penguin Land?
What will the weather be like in Antarctica when you're there?
No, I always go in the summer, but you don't need to go that far. I mean, there are penguins here where I live, and it's summertime. You know, so from September, when it gets winter for you, you come down here to summer. Lots of penguins. Have fun.
All right, that sounds great, Pablo. Thank you again. Great to meet you.
Thank you. Same.
Okay.
Bye bye.
See you later. Bye bye.